This episode of Walt Disney World Today is being sponsored by Small World Vacations, whose team of 40 agents are authorized Disney vacation planners, and they're recommended by MouseSavers.com. They're dedicated to your dreams and your dollars, so get your free price quote from Small World Vacations by going to www.wdwvacations.com, where the magic begins.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Monday, November 5th, 2007, and this is episode 331 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hochberg from StudioCentral.com. On the show today, we have Len Testa, who's the co-author of the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World, which is located online at www.touringplans.com. Welcome, Len.
How's it going, Matt?
Outstanding. We also have on the show Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com and All Ears Net. Welcome, Mike.
Mr. Collins, ladies and gentlemen, we have just dropped our booster engines, and in a moment, we'll make what we call a hyperspace jump.
I have no idea.
Yeah, Mission to Mars.
Right. Wow, you really are Len Testa.
You don't just play them on TV.
And operating soundboard Len tonight, it's Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome, Mike.
Mission to Mars. Yeah, that does sound like him.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
I'll tell you, Newell is good. I don't care what you say, Archibald.
Hey, it's not nice.
Way to start something up before the cruise, Mike. We're just hoping to get that after. Anyway,
Exactly.
Today we're talking about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which is coming up next week. The first one is on November 12th. Runs on select dates in November and December. We'll have in the show notes the exact dates. I don't need to bore us all with dates on here. Tickets are on sale. As you know, with any hard ticket item, you'll pay a certain price. There's the last minute at the gate price, and then you can also get advance savings, and there's a discount for that, as well as a discount for DVC or annual pass holders who buy their tickets in advance on select nights. So you can save quite a bit of money. The ticket price for an adult is $51.07. But if you go on, say, an annual pass holder night, or if Mike Newell goes on a DVC night, he'll only have to pay $40.42 for an adult, that's about $11. That's not bad at all, considering if you have a family of 4, that's $40 right there that you're saving, technically. So you definitely want to take advantage of that if you can. If you can go on one of the nights where it's a discount night. I mean, it's a great idea. Scopa, do you know if during MouseFest this year they're having an annual pass holder night, the night that we're all going?
I don't think so, Matt. I think we're going on the 6th, I believe.
Yeah, you're right.
Thursday the 6th. And I think that the first discount night in December is on the 11th.
You're correct. The discounted dates are November 15th, November 27th, December 11th, and December 18th. Is it just my imagination, or there used to be a lot more discounted nights?
There used to be a lot more discounted nights. A lot of them used to be during the early parts of the week. They used to be like Mondays and Tuesdays. Usually in the past, those were discounted nights, and there were about 8 of them, I believe, in the past. Now there's only 4.
I just remember if you went on like a Thursday night, basically you were almost guaranteed a discount, especially if you went, in early December or, basically not during the holiday week of Christmas and New Year's or Thanksgiving week. But anyway, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is coming up, and it's a favorite party. Scopa, would it be accurate for me to say that it's your favorite hard ticket party event at Magic Kingdom?
It's pretty close, Matt. It barely edges out Not So Scary, and the reason why it edges it out is because there is special entertainment that you really don't see. I mean, you have the Villains Mix and Mingle for the Halloween Mickey's Not So Scary, but that's a very short show compared to the 2 shows that are shown at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And the 2 that I'm talking about is the one in Tomorrowland, which is Mickey's Twas the Night Before Christmas, and the other one is to Celebrate the Season, which is at the Castle Forecourt stage. Both of them are something like 20 to 30 minutes long, and they really are very entertaining, whereas the Villain Mix and Mingle, it's entertaining, but it's a 10-minute show.
It's interesting you brought up the events that you like at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, because Mike Shirley from Houston, Texas, writes to us and wants to know their family's going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in December of 2007, and they were wondering what the best things to do at the party are. You mentioned already the one show over there in Tomorrowland. What are some other must-sees if you're going to the party?
Well, first thing, Matt, we should mention that the Mickey's Tours the Night Before Christmas, which is performed at the Galaxy Palace Theater in Tomorrowland, is very, very, very popular. And in almost all cases, I think it's performed 3 times that night. It's usually standing room only. So my suggestion is to go to the very first performance, and then after that, if you get a chance, then you should spend time doing any kind of attraction touring you want to do, especially in Fantasyland, because the first parade is going on time. If you're going to do any touring, I do it at that time. That would be the second thing I'd do. The show in front of the castle, I would do one of the last 2 if you can. I'd wait till the end of the last performance of the parade, and let's talk about the parade. In all cases, we always have suggested that it's best to do the second parade of the evening because that would be less attended. The younger families are gone. It's much easier to find your favorite viewing spot at the second performance of the parade. So those are the key elements right there: the parade and of course the fireworks.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do like the parade quite a bit, Mike. And it's interesting. And of course, we always recommend, as with anything, if there's more than one showing of a parade or really anything at night, you always want to go to the second one, and that's still true, just like you said, Mike. The fireworks I don't really like that much, and the reason why is because Disney made up their own Christmas music. Like, there's not an ample supply of very good Christmas music out there, and it just bothers me because I think the fireworks could be so much better if they had used, contemporary Christmas music for the show. But instead they made up their own, and it's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I never really thought the fireworks show flowed very well because you're just using songs you're not familiar with.
So Matt, you're talking that the audio you're talking that if the audio changed to a more traditional soundtrack, Christmas soundtrack, then you'd be fine with the fireworks?
Yeah, I think it would flow better. I mean, I think that the musical choice they use just doesn't work for me at all.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, Len? What's your view of the fireworks?
I think the fireworks are pretty good actually, but I gotta say that everything I learned about the Christmas party I learned from Scopa, so he's really the expert in this. I will say that
ding.
The best strategy is to start in Tomorrowland and work your way counterclockwise.
Right, right, Len, yeah.
Yeah. By the time you get, first of all, you get to see the Mickey's Not So Scary. Mickey's Night Before Christmas. But then by the time you're in Fantasyland, the first parade is going on, and Fantasyland will be relatively uncrowded, so that when you're through Fantasyland, you'll get to see the second parade with relatively little wait.
It's interesting you bring up crowds, Len. One of our listeners, Rick from Hilltown, Pennsylvania, writes, who has a question about the party, says he wants to know going either Sunday, December 9th versus going Thursday, December 13th. Should I expect any appreciable difference in crowds for those 2 nights? The Sunday party has an advanced purchase discount offered. The Thursday night does not.
Well, I would get, that would have been the first thing. If you can get a discounted night, then I would go. Number 2, Sundays are Sunday is the transition day. It's a travel day. I found that the Magic Kingdom on Sundays, I actually, the very first Mouse Fest, Carol and I went to both parties. We went to the one on Thursday night, and we went to the one on Sunday night, and the Sunday night one was less crowded than the one on Thursday night. And I have to think it's because there are a lot of people who are just in transition on Sundays, and there aren't that many people in the rooms on the resort are down there on Sundays as normal.
One of the big changes that's coming this year, which hasn't happened before, is Disney's calling it the Castle Dream Lights, where they're adorning Cinderella's castle with thousands of shimmering white lights. I think I've seen some promotional video on this. I don't think we've got ourselves another birthday cake on our hands. Thank goodness. But
it's close.
what do you think, Mike?
It's close, Matt. I've seen some images and photos of it. It's pretty close. I think that the best thing to do is to hold judgment until you see it in person. I do know that some of the photos that I've seen, it looks as if it snowed on the castle, and it looks like they've got too much on there. But I think I'm going to wait and see it for myself before I pass judgment. But it definitely looks a lot different than the normal castle we've grown to love.
Yeah, Len, I think it's time to start up Len's photoshopping service where you can Photoshop the normal castle in there for people who take vacation photos over there.
To be a good service to provide.
The next direction for the unofficial guide.
Exactly, we're going to do a custom photographs. I think that's hysterical.
Now, Scopa, is there's also, we talked about the parade. Is it new this year? Because I'm seeing here new for 2007 Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time parade. So have they changed up the parade?
I don't know if they've changed some of the floats. I know that they've been using for the past 4 or 5 years. They basically used the same floats. There may be some changes. I did hear. I don't recall if last year. Maybe you guys will remember. Do you remember last year if the soldiers, the toy soldiers, were in the parade?
I want to say yeah. I do remember that Santa Goofy is in the end, and the only reason I remember that one is because it's the same exact float as the Halloween parade, except it's Santa Goofy. I think Scopa, we were watching the very merry parade, the not so scary parade, and I think I want to say it was Josh who pointed it out. I said, "Oh look, it's Santa Goofy," because it's the same exact float
on the candy float at the end.
Yeah, and they just throw some red and green on there, and poof, it's the Santa float. But anyway, that wasn't an answer to your question.
That's classic.
What are some other interesting? What are some things about the party that you guys particularly enjoy? Besides there's a lot. There's the free cookies and the free hot chocolate, and free meaning you paid for it, but it's provided to you.
I do like the Christmas music that you hear throughout the park, and the snow on Main Street. I think that that really adds a special touch. Something that we didn't see at the Tower of Terror race. We didn't see any theming in MGM that night, but I think that they really carry on the Christmas theme really well with the snowflakes all over the place. The snowflakes that is shown on Space Mountain and the castle during the course of the evening, and on Main Street USA, and the snow effect. I think that really adds a nice touch.
And the real burning question for me is, Mike Newell, when can we expect Mouse World Radio to switch over to the all-holiday music?
Thanksgiving morning.
You laugh,
really?
But XM Radio has already switched over to Christmas music.
They have channel 103.
Have they already activated it?
Yeah, channel 103.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Some terrestrial stations have already changed around, but I think it's a little too early. I think Thanksgiving's too early, but yeah.
Fight the power, Newell. Fight the power.
Thanksgiving. This will be the 9th year.
There you go. And Newell, then you got to work on the what is it? The Yule log. You need to get a burning log on on Mouse World Radio. Somehow we have to have that burning log image.
I'll work on that.
Some of the other events that are going on, Mike, you talked about the Celebrate the Season show, which happens at the forecourt stage. I'm not a big fan of the shows in front of the castle, but it's just obviously it's not geared towards me. It's geared towards little children, of which I'm not anymore.
I think I don't know if that one is geared towards children as much. It just all I remember is that they're all white and there's a lot of energy, and it's just very, very. It's a very festive show, and I think that really again plays into the theme. It really first time I had seen it, the first time I had ever attended a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas, I was just amazed as to how much Christmas spirit I walked away from that party with. It was just a big component of that.
Yeah, it I guess it just doesn't appeal to me. I'm just not I'm not really a big fan of those castle shows, but that's right. So a lot of interesting things going on the show. would you guys say that it's a must-do if you're down there for that time of the year? Or is it something that you'd say you could do once every year, once every 2 years? Is the dream lights on the castle going to making you guys excited to go this year? What do you think?
Good question. I wasn't aware of the lights being shown just on Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party nights.
I haven't. I mean, I'm looking at the information, and what's new for 2007 is that the lights are only going to be on during the party.
Really?
But of course, the other thing isn't regardless of the lights. Hasn't been when you get to like the actual week of Christmas. Don't they usually then start showing all those party stuff during regular park hours?
Yeah, it's usually that week, the Christmas parade and all that stuff. The even the special fireworks.
Didn't Mary Waring give us this tip last year?
I think so. Yeah.
If your stay spans the week before and the week after Christmas, note that it doesn't make sense to go to the party before Christmas because after Christmas you'll get to see everything for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that tip now that you mentioned it. I think it was.
Just have to deal with the crowds, It's either it's pay me now or pay me later,
Exactly. Oh, good point. Yeah.
Very quickly, Scopa, what regular Magic Kingdom attractions do you like to ride during Very Merry?
Oh my goodness! I really would like. Go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead. I was trying to give you some time to think. I was just going to say, during Not So Scary, an obvious choice is the Haunted Mansion. So I was wondering if there are any attractions during Very Merry that you always single out as kind of Very Merry attractions that you have to kind of sneak in.
Well, I used to enjoy, even though it was kind of corny, the Country Bear Jamboree Christmas show, but they, I believe, are not doing it this year. So that's one that's no longer on my list. I think that, as Len pointed out, anything in Fantasyland that I can do during the parade, that's the only time of the night that I think that it's worth being in Fantasyland during the first parade. Other than that, there's really nothing except it would be nice to do Splash at least once to see how the park looks all decorated from the top of Splash Mountain, as well as if you're going around in the TTA, just so that you can get a different view of the park in all its Christmas splendor.
It's a good idea, especially the TTA one over there. For some people, don't want to get wet because it may be cold during the night. I remember last year it was freezing.
Yeah, Splash is tough. You have to make a choice during the first parade. Either you do the mountains or you do Fantasyland.
Although the water cannons on Splash Mountain should be off. And for those who don't know, the water cannons on Splash Mountain are when you go down that final flume drop, the big one. There is you see the water spritz up. That doesn't really happen because it's not like boulders being dropped in there. They're water cannons that shoot it up artificially. And during the colder months of the year, they turn them off because obviously people want to ride them but not get totally soaked. So, well, that's it for us today. Again, this episode of Walt Disney World Today has been sponsored by Small World Vacations, whose team of 40 agents are authorized Disney vacation planners, and they're recommended by MouseSavers.com. They're dedicated to your dreams and your dollars. To get your free price quote from Small World Vacations by going to www.wdwvacations.com, where the magic begins. You're going to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments. Visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.